Good evening guys, welcome to the stream this evening as we are down in Athens, and we're going to be doing a flight down up into Albania with Aegean Airlines, or Aegean. So with the 737-800, and we're going to be leaving out of lovely Athens. Once we leave out, we're going to be leaving out runway 03 right, we'll come in for 35, we're going to do the VOR approach. So we'll come in on the right DME, 16 DME from the airport, and then we'll come straight down today. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, and now we can get inside the cockpit and get the aircraft ready for our departure. Captain Spitfire, good evening my man. Gio, hope you're doing well. And let's have a great flight today. So we're in the 737-800. We'll get our checklist so we can go through that with you guys today. Hope you're all having a great evening and a great weekend today. So we've got the parking brake which is set. We can go overhead now, get the battery on and guarded. Standby power is guarded with chrome power which is on. Get left pump in and get the APU all up and ready today. On for our flight level, we're going for a flight level of 320 once we leave out. So APU's on, we'll get the APU gen on after that. Position lights can go on, which are checked. We've got logo lights which we don't need. From there, emergency exit lights can be armed along with our fastened seatbelts. And no smoking. Get the window heat all on. As we get the IRS all ready onto nav. Test the flaps. And we'll also test the flight recorder, which is checked. Test our speed warnings, which are all set for us. We'll get the trim air on now, get the packs. Isolation valves open, we get the APU bleed air on. We're going for 320, elevation coming down. As we're coming into Tirana in Albania, elevation's 125. So I'll leave it at 100. it should be all good for us. There's the APU coming back down to stabilise. We can get the APU back over, which is also set and checked. Passenger signs are on, IRSs are ready, so now we can get the navs all ready to go. So we'll get all of our panels up and lit. Which is set. Get the throttles back as well. So we're going to the FMC, get the positioning of the aircraft, which is going to be Lima Golf Alpha Victor. Okay, I'm just going to punch it in as we get ready to go quick. For that, onto our arrival, which is going to be Lima Alpha Tango India. Okay, which is set. Coming in on the route, we've got our departure, which we're leaving out of runway 03 right, and we're going for the Core 1 Juliet. So there's Core 1 Juliet. Get that all in and set ready for us. From there, onto the rest of our route, we've got the Uniform Lima 5-3, which is going to take us down to Garter. From Garter, we're going to take Uniform Victor 6-0. That's going to take us down to Yankee November. From there, we've got the Uniform Lima 604, which brings down to Dimis. And from Dimis, we then got Elback, which was originally going to be the start of our arrival, but we've changed the arrival for the staff, so we've got Elback, which we're going to go direct to. Then we've got Odraz, which is going to be the start of our arrival. For Odraz, we're coming in for the Odraz 3 Kilo. We're going to be taking the VOR for runway 35, and we aren't going to use any transition as we're going to go straight around the DME from Odraz. So basically our first arrival was going to basically hit Elback and go straight to Tinky for the initial fix, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit Elback, we're going to roll over to Odraz, and then we're going to come into the 16 DME arc, because we're 16 nautical miles from the airport. We'll roll it down through 140, then 9 through to 74, and then on for the arrival for the VOR approach. We'll basically come round and then we can intercept straight down at Tinky and then start the descent from 3,800 feet. So that's literally the arrival in. So we can go and activate that in, go to our perf, which has got all of our weight on board as well, which is all set and checked for us. So we get the perf, got 9.4 on for our fuel. We're going to need 7,000 on the fuel, so 7.1. Got 9.4, which will give us a 2.3. Cost index is going to be 56. And for 320, over on the ISO we've got 294009. That's going to give us minus 40. Okay, so we just need to move that. Minus 40. Okay, which is set. Execute that off, go to the M1 limit. We'll take off 1. We'll go for climb 2. For our takeoff, we've got flaps 5, we've got 143, 144, and a 151, which is set. Leaving out the runway over on the METARs. Let's just go grab the METARs for lovely Athens. So METARs is 1017, and on the winds we've got 36010. Okay, which is in. Takeoff speeds are deleted, they're back 151, 1,000 feet on the cutback. So 151 for V2, we'll get the flight directors on, which will be checked. We're going up for 320. And we'll climb direct. And now that's all set, we'll go back to the checklist. We've got the aircraft fully prepared now to leave out of lovely Athens today. So transponder, which will be set, we've got indicated airspeed, so we've got 151 for V2, which is checked. Runway headed and leaving out. It's going to be the 032. Okay, which is checked. Initial altitude 320, we're going to put the yaw damper on now, which is set, with the window heats, which are checked. Land altitude is checked, we've got 100 for 125. Altimeter is 1017. Okay, 1017, which is set. L nav and V nav is required. We'll come out runway head. We'll get L nav on after 400 feet. Auto brake RTO, which will be checked. Com radios and doors. So for the com radios leaving out, we've got Athens VOR. And as we leave, we're going for core, which is the 392. And 392, which is set. Okay, so we'll leave core in. And that's pretty much us all ready to go. So auto throttle will be armed, which is set. Left, right, centre pumps can go on, so we'll get the left and right pumps on. There's nothing, we've got a little bit in the centre, so we can put them on as well. Electric hydraulic pumps can be set. And collision light can now go on. Parking brake, ground equipment and engine area is clear, so we can now go ahead and tell everybody to leave as we come out. And what we can do is we'll call the tug now and get our pushback ready to leave.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Okay, so the tug's now going to drive us up. Dave, good evening my man, hope you're doing well pal. As we're just getting ready to leave lovely Athens. Leaving out on 03 right, which is 032 on departure. Coming out the flaps 5. Rotates 144. Get the door shut. There we go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, so the tug's now going to come, lift us up. But it shouldn't be too bad. Should be arriving in just for around on the clock, around 10 to 5.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake can be released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, so we're going to get the engines all ready now. So it's going to display units engine. We've got the packs which we can turn off now. Should be set. Get the engine bleeds off as well. Engines can go to both, and we'll go for ground. So there's our start valve which is open. N2 is now increasing. 25% will inject fuel, and then we'll see how EGT start to increase. Okay, so near 25, there's engine number 2 coming in. EGT is now starting to lift. Yeah, come down into our flaps 5 as well. Okay, and 1's coming in. There's now pushback ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be leaving now at 03 right. Coming down Charlie. We'll rock all the way down to, we'll come on the Delta 1. Get all the runway out. So engine number 2 now come back, go for engine number 1, The cutout should go out around 56-58%, so we'll listen out for it. There's N2 coming in. 25% again will inject fuel, and then we'll see our EGT start to increase and turn over for engine number 1. As you can see, that is our turnaround as we come out. We're literally going to come out and swing a right hand turn straight around. So there's 25%. Inject fuel into engine number 1 now, see EGT start to rise, and we'll listen out for the cutout switch for around 56%. 56% into 56 to 58. So there's 50. And there's 56 on the cutout. So there's engine number 1 and 2 all ready to go.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay. So set parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, so he's going to drop us down, and then we can get ready to leave out. Quick little taxi straight down Charlie. As we go over, we'll get everything else organised in just a minute. So we'll get our panels on. Get them all set and checked. So we've got generator 1 and 2, which can be switched over, which is set. We'll go to BAT and Gen 1, which is also set and checked. Probe heats can now be turned on, which are set. We can get the packs back to auto. The isolation valve can go to auto. Get the engine bleeds on. The APU bleed can go off with the APU, which is also set and checked. Engine start switches can go to continuous. Flight controls are free and correct. We'll do the recall, which is checked and clear. Low display unit can go off, which is set. Taxi lights on.
Hose disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. Well, see you next time and have a safe flight.
See you soon, bye bye. So let's get ready. Power out of Athens. Ready for the lovely approach in. So we're going to come out, we're going to do a right, and then we're going to leave out. As you can see, leaving out, we're going to come around onto that right hand turn, which is then going to intercept us down and back round onto the 266 to intercept, and then we'll come back down for core, which will be by 21,000 feet, which will also be set. The transition that was in when we leave, I mean 9,000. Okay. So bring the controls over. I'll check as soon as the ground's gone now and get the terrain on, because the weather never seems to work anyway. Go overhead, get the taxi lights on. Can release the brake. And we're going to start to power on up now to runway 03 right. So we'll go in and get the centre of gravity 22.4. Yeah, which was 575 on the trim. There we go, which is set. I'm going to make a right hand turn, as we can see, and then we're going to head up onto Charlie, or the Delta. Sorry, we're going to roll down Delta all the way if we really want to, or we can just take Charlie. So, we'll go down Charlie as soon as we can. So, make this right hand turn. Flaps are fully down, flaps 5. I'm going to pre-arm L now as we're going to go into that right hand turn. Get a reserve gauge all ready for us. closer, nearer to the airport of Albania, then we can actually get the aircraft prepared, ready to go. So just coming down off of Charlie now. I think Charlie's going to end dead centre straight at the end anyway, so when we follow it all the way down, should be alright for us. By the time we get to Calls, as we say, 6,000 is the airspace. So we're going to come out on a climb anyway, so should be quite nice. We're on takeoff 1, we're going to climb 2 on the way out. Got 320, which is set. We've got 151 for V2. Courses could go to 032. There we go. 032. 032, which is checked. Coming down near to our hold now. And make a left hand turn and line up 1 to 03 right. So just make sure that Enviro is in the areas on. So delta's to the left. We're going to line up. So the third left is going to be out. So we'll have the engine anti-ice off. Okay, so second left. Turn here now. Okay, so we'll get the aircraft fully ready to go so we can kind of roll on out onto the departure. So we'll get our landing lights on, runway turn-offs can go on, taxis can go off, we'll get our strobes which can go on, which are also set and checked for its engine start switches are continuous, and we're just coming past the Delta 1 hold. So we can do a run off, we've got LNAV which is armed, 400 feet, that'll engage, and then we'll go on to that right hand turn which is then going to take us all the way back. So on the way back we're going to be punching in onto the 084 to the 046, right? 244 back on that right hand turn. As soon as we are all ready to go now. So we'll line up on the runway. We've got a rolling start already, so full pressure on the yoke. Can time it as well, as time's going to be about 1 hour and 5. So we'll get that in. Just check to go to 40%. Which is stabilised and toga. Airspeed live. Check. Throttle hold. 100 is back on the column. E1, rotate. Rotate. Positive rate. You're up. Check. 400. 400, that one will go in now. So we'll follow the flight director up. So 46% is on the N1, as I didn't knock the throttles. So we'll 1000 checked. Climb 2 is going to come back. As we come in now, we're going to speed up to our bug up speed for our flaps up, which will be set, so the flight director will move down. As we're going to get ready to go into that right hand turn, which will bring us in. So we'll just nose down just a little, we can go up to flaps 2. Get the runway turn-offs can go off, and the start switches can go off as well, which are checked. There's that right hand turn now, passing on flaps 1. Okay, so as we go up to our flaps up speed, gear can be turned off now. Obviously our flaps up, engage VNAV. So flaps are up now, and put VNAV in. Let's come on to that right hand turn, we're going to backtrack round. Hold out for 2.3, then go up to 2.5. Out on our speed into the wind. Okay. So as we thrive through, we're going to go up to 320 anyway. Flight director will come back in as we start to lift up now to give us speed. Make some minor corrections. Now put the autopilot on as we get ready for that lovely right hand turn ready to come in. I don't know why the aircraft sometimes doesn't want to come out of the climb soon, so it doesn't want to climb. So we'll take it up to 250 there, which will get the flight director back in. As you can see, it's climbing like him, so you can catch back to 250 now. We'll start to lower on our pitch, and we can watch that lovely departure onto that right hand turn, which is going to take us off to 244. So to come around onto that right hand turn, we set the QNHs over to standard now, which is checked. We get the reserve gauge as well, it's 299 and 2, which is also set and checked. As we come around onto that right hand turn, we can catch a lovely view as the aircraft comes round.
Der Kabinenplatz wurde bereitgestattet. Für die Vorbereitungen aufzustehen. Wir möchten bitten, weiter die Anstellzeichen zu beachten. Hier noch eine kurze Information zur Lage der Waschräume. Es befinden sich 2 davon im Bereich und eine Form auf der Innenseite. Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew has already been released and the outstretched seating is seatbelt fastened. There are 3 lavatories along this aircraft, 2 in the rear and 1 in front.
it's got CMDA, which is engaged, buzzing at transition altitude out of the centre standard, which is also set. Below 10,000, so now we can get the landing lights, which can go off. Which are checked, runway terms are off, and taxis, which are also set. Takeoff, we have also brake, which is off, gears up, no lights, engine starts, which is not off, and runway terminals and cabin lights as required. So we'll leave the passenger signs on for now, as it was a little bit rocky climbing out. It should be a little bit less windy when we get up near to the top. As you can see on our winds, once we come to our top of climb, currently coming through on 4 and 9. So it's around, I would say, between 10 to 15 knots. Once we get to our cruise, we're looking to be around 9 knot winds, 294, 009. So I'm currently heading now on 263. And we are currently meant to be arriving down on our progress 1648. So 1648 is when we're going to come in. See what turns we've got, shovel wind view as we come round, so they are going to be pretty much right hand turns as we leave. So put on some music and you guys can get into the groove. So look and see what we've got. Captain Spitfire providing the music, guys. Try and get something a little bit juicy for you. Thanks for the mate, yeah. Hope you're doing well, my man. Should be a really nice arrival when we come in tonight. Should be a really nice arrival as we come in tonight. Lovely Albania. Tirana, probably close in down the road. Need to up the rate a little bit more. It's okay, we're still just a little bit. Apart from that, looks all good. Auto's over bad. It's on level 17. Overclocked on the red stream. Lovely Airlines. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Everything's going on good. Hope you're doing well as well, pal. As we're just leaving Greece head up to west, east side, and then we'll run straight across into Albania, and then we'll get down onto the runway. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to leave the music off now anyway. But yeah, Albania is going to be a really nice approach. Coming in for the VOR approach, so we use L9 VNAV, and we'll run that 16 DME arc around into the runway. So it should be lovely. Those don't look too bad down in the sea window. After stream, YouTube's processed it. Might be a bit better of those. Okay, we just see another Red Bull just down overhead. Just down there, just next to near to the engine coming in. Had to roll up for 320. Just check in to make sure everything's going okay. 5 in, so now we've got up to a climb speed, which was going to be, because we've got a level change, so it should be alright now. Went to VNAV, aircraft will level now to catch up to its speed, and then we'll go on onto our cruise. What we can also do is we'll check, see progress from 345, so distance to go pretty much 344, the altitude distance to go, so 344 to go. Core is going to be 20 nautical miles coming in. As we've left out now, we're just tracking it down to the core NDB, which you can see right there is the NDB for core. So we'll get the transponder on, which is set. And there we go, straight out into the climate. So it's pretty straightforward. On for the plan, if you guys want to see the arrival in. The arrival is pretty much straightforward as well. Again, we're just going to come down to core, make a right hand turn, top of climb, fly all the way down to Garter. We're going to then make another right hand turn, which goes all the way down to now on the top of the descent at Hillbank. Probably start at the top of the descent, just a little further away than 320. We'll see, we'll calculate the altitude, etc. Before down, just times it by 3, so 320 times by 3. There should be 96, so about 96 nautical miles out. We should be getting ready for our top of the descent. So yeah, as I said, the arrival in is pretty straightforward. Coming down, we're going to come down to Odraz. As we see, we leave from Elbank, which is right here, and then we go down to Odraz, which is the start of our arrival, and then we make that left-hand turn, which takes us to 243, I think, and then from the 243, basically going to follow it all the way round, and then hit that 16 DME arc. And then intercept at Tinky, which is our initial fix. We'll then hit flaps 5. Intercept for localizer, but we're not doing that, we're doing the VLR. So we've got the L9 VNAV coming in when we come down, and we've got our altitude points as well. You can see 5 DME out. There's our altitude from 5 DME down. You can see from 3008 at Tinky, which is our initial fix. We come around to that DME, and then we'll start coming down 14 DME from the VLR down in Albania. And we can see we'll hit 3,110.5 and then come all the way down onto the arrival. So that's it. As we're now going to make that right hand turn from core to lead us to the 300. Okay, which is checked. That's great, my man. Glad you're enjoying yourself. So we get the centre pumps off now, and the engine NCIs can also go on. As we climb for 320 now, L9 VNAV is engaged, and we've got the aircraft now do its thing as we fly around off from lovely Greece today. Still got a little fair way to go, so I'll leave you with some of the wind views as we now start to ride out on our way down to Albania and Tirana for the VOR approach runway 35. So it's not going to be very long at all. Flight time up in the air is around about, it was an hour, and the block's around 115. So we've got 344 nautical miles coming down, around 96 nautical miles. We'll start doing our descent, top of descent. We'll see what it's saying when we get to our top of descent, see what the VNAV's saying on the FMC. We're going to be looking around 96 nautical miles. So basically 32,000 feet times by 3, 96,000, but just looking at it, it's 96. There's just 96 nautical miles. And that's where we'll start down. We'll come down into level change, or we can start the descent earlier from the FMC, but we'll just program that in to do it. And it's just a little hazy up there now. So everyone flies to 3-2. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. So as we have a look and see whereabouts we are, we've still got to get up to Garter, or 17 knot headwind, 300 bang on, as we're now heading direct towards Elbaz, coming down in 680 MDA for 555 on a decision height. Coming down at speeds will probably be around 150, something like that, 150. Usually it's like to fly the aircraft heavy. Good to start flying the aircraft in different weights as well, so we get a feel on the arrivals. So when you're heavy, you can control the flare a lot more. It's a lot more easier to control. You can get stuck in and really lift the nose up when you're coming in for the flare onto the touchdown. When you're at a lighter weight, then you're going to be obviously you're not going to be putting crazy inputs, because the weight of the aircraft isn't going to bring you down on a quicker descent rate. You don't ever have no weather that comes on. I think it only comes on in like hurricane weather. So 23 minutes in, 24. We've got a block time. Just around 1 hour to go in. Everything seems fine accordingly. We'll cruise now 320, Mach decimal 78. 163 nautical miles until we start to come down. It's got us down to come in, got Elbank, which is where it wants to start the descent. 42 nautical miles. So it's not going to be enough on the descent. We're going to come down on a crazy descent angle as well. So if we start the descent early, then we will. If not, we'll just have to make do, and we'll see what the VNav's got in store for us. We'll put a forecast in as well, so it can calculate the VNav. Also got, if we can get it to work, so I've got a landing pole in, so we'll see if we can get it to activate when we come down into the runway. So Tirana's going to be 1177, which is what we're going to come into over the VOR. So that'll come in once it comes into range. Follow the VOR down, follow it now and have a VNav mode. I'm going to come down through 3008. By the time we get down 1700, 5 DME, 1940 for 6 DME. When we start to come down 5 DME, we can then see the next starts 1345, 1160, and then 980 for 3 DME, which is going to be around for our minimums. We'll decide whether we're going to continue or orbitable. So it says max 140, just imagine that's up there, down for the Cat C. As we come round, we're not going to follow around that teardrop as we're taking in the right DME arc, so we're going to come round and then join in for Tinky, instead of if we was coming down from this direction, or if we was coming in and that wasn't possible from Tinky, then we could basically follow it down, put a hold in to come back inbound onto the 350, and then that'll join us back in to come in for the arrival. So in that way, 350 is going to be in for the course. Can get the fasten seatbelts off now. Because here is calmer. After 300 and then 4347 for Newton. Newton's coming 26 nautical miles now. We're going to go into that right hand turn. So 347, which is unchecked. Then take a right hand turn in just a few moments' time. like Aegean Airlines. It's a nice livery. I like white aircraft. I think they just look a lot more better than white. So like a cream white. It goes really nice with just a little bit of colour. So it's definitely a win on the white aircraft side. I do like white coloured aircrafts. Textures wise they look better as well. So any minute now, we are about 20 nautical miles. We are going to make a right hand turn in just a minute. We'll leave it in the wing view until it does go into that right hand turn. And then we'll carry on course straight down for Albania. First time I've been to Albania. I haven't done any test flight. Don't usually do any test flights. Just have a look at the charts, see what it's saying, and then whack it in and off we go, you know. So I haven't ever been to Albania in the sim, which is the first for me as well. But the arrival was pretty straightforward, so there shouldn't be any complications. As long as we descend the aircraft at the right time to come down for that arc, then we'll get the VNAV back in if we do level change just before we need to come down with the approach. So the aircraft will do the right turn as it's bound to, and it's destined to. Athens is nice, Olympic Air is really nice as well. Definitely start streaming a lot more for you guys too, as I've streamed for so long. It's been quite a while, definitely. So it's good to be back. Instead of you guys watching it all together on the premiere, we're here now, doing it together, locked in, ready to go. So if you have a look down at the METARs coming in for Tirana. There's that right hand turn coming in. So Lima Alpha Tango in India. And for METARs we've gone Motherboard 3 knots, temperature's 25, 1016. So 3 knot winds from variable directions, 2.17. So it was swinging around 2 hours ago. It was 320 at 10. So the weather's come down a little bit, so it's just 3 knots variable. That should be right. That should just be about +5 then, the arrival for our speeds. So now on that right hand turn, before we tip, we're going to go inbound for as we leave out. There's a lovely sun over there. Over on to our left. Tin's coming in now. Currently just over halfway out of the centre L bank. Going to the VNAV, going to the progress. You see, it shows you winds and everything. Once come down near to L bank, you need to be around 96 nautical miles when we do start the descent. Now scheduled time 16:48. Which is perfect for us, as earlier on 16:48, 16:50 is a really nice setting down on the aircraft. So I went down into the airport earlier just to see the right light set before we did it. So there we are now, just flying overhead. So what we'll do in the next stream is I'll put a bit rare up even higher so they can come out more crystal. Hopefully after the stream I might process a bit more after. Thanks my man. Not much planned for the weekend, we're just chilling out. It's a little hazy up here, as you can see. to 5 is the arrival wind. Once we slow down, we've got 1648 on the time, give or take, once we slow down a little bit to come in on the arrival. Should be around about 5 to 5, so we've got a block. The block time was probably around 1:15, we've got an air time of 1:05, so around about an hour and 15 minutes in total, which was probably left out on the block a little late. Apart from that, we are scheduled right. Checking the forecast now. As we come in, we're going to be coming up on our next fix, Yankee November, which is going to be 320 on our altitude as we fly up the way to Elbank, which is 53, so around 70, 90, 98 miles away before we get to Elbank. So the Yankee November, winds currently 356,018, so 338.15, so not too bad. That's when we get down to Yankee November. Once we leave then Dimis, we're looking for around 356 at 18 knots, should be minus 42 for the Yankee November, we're going to be minus 42 as well, apparently. So we're not too far away. You can see the VOR DME approach 35, the 352, which is going to be the course in. Now I know that obviously you can use the Aegean. I haven't used the Aegean, I think I used it like once. With the RNAVs and VOR approaches, I'd rather use the normal way, so then we can use the chance to come down. If we use the Aegean, it's pretty much just doing the ILS, it's going to pop up on the APFD with the magenta diamonds, etc. So there's not really much that's going to be happening, should we say. Oh, that'd be great, mate, if you go to Biggin. Go check out the Spitfires, really old school planes. They are really good. Duxford is really a good place to go as well. They've got Concorde there, or they did have Concorde there. They had some old DC planes out on the forecourt. Really nice place to go. If you do go to Biggin Hill, mate, have some fun, take some pictures and make sure to send them into the school as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test something out quick whilst we're here, as I can reset the landing pole. I want to see if the pole's going to work, so let's have a look and we can reuse it again to come in. So, okay, we're just making that slight left adjustment. Test this out and see if it does work. Okay, so it did work. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to use a landing pole for you guys once we've finished, and then we can get the landing rates in as well, so you guys can test everything and you can set your votes in as well to see what our landing rate will be this evening. So I was just testing it to make sure that it works. It does work, so that's all there. So we make sure that you guys can come in and give the lowdown on what you think we will get on the arrival this evening. So I'm glad that's there, so we can actually use it as I set it up earlier on the Streamlabs. So reactivate that. It'll be open for around 4 minutes. So when it does turn on, you have 4 minutes to cast your votes, and then you're ready to go. So, it's exclamation point vote, space, and then whichever landing rate which is visible on the screen. Haven't been to Duxford in a very, very long time. Duxford's an amazing place to go. The red arrows were there. It was really, really cool to see. Then we've got an army bit there as well, where you can go and see the tanks, which is just it's on the same grounds go and see all the military stuff. It's a really cool place to go. Definitely, I would probably have to go back if I did do a video for you guys. I'd go down there if I ever did. Take some pictures. I did take a lot of pictures, wherever they may be, of Concorde, inside Concorde. It was the BOAC livery. There was the DCs out on the forecourt. There were some lovely aircrafts there, all lovely old things, but Concorde's very tiny, very small. Very, very small, definitely. But it's a place to go and see as well. I've also been to, where did it go? Lake and Heath, RAF Lake and Heath, stood right at the start of the runway, just behind the barrier fence. I remember I got some videos of some of the fighter jets coming literally straight overhead, just skimming. That was really good. You see them come out and all line up, and do their little salutes, and they're getting jets, and then they all go in a single file all down to the runway. It was really cool to see when they roar. It makes everything vibrate. It's definitely some power in their jets. Lots of power. So we're literally right near our top of descent now. Let's see how far the top of descent is out. 51 nautical miles. So I'm going to set the Mcp altitude now. It's going to start ready to start coming down. Flight level 140 as we're coming down into. So 140 should be set. We can start our level change. And from level change, once we come down, start to arrive in, as we're not too far, 50 nautical miles out. You can see now that we've got Triana, which is in 90 nautical miles, so that's all good for us as well. Get the speed brakes in. Some lovely mountains as well as we come down. They're absolutely lovely. Steamer man, good evening pal, hope you're having a great evening. And welcome just in time on the descent. Yeah, the rumbles in the fighter jets, definitely something down there. So we're in level change now, as we're just coming down onto this rocky patch. Top descent of 43 nautical miles, 29 at 8. Let's check down on the terrain, etc. as we come down. Rollbacks for flight level 120. So as we're descending now, as we come down 1-4, we've got set L-backs for 1-2, which we all set for us to come in. I didn't put in the forecast, as I did forget. We can get in our weights, etc. So coming down our progress, we're 6.1 on fuel once we get down into Triana, 6.7 currently, which gives 0.6, that'll be 67.1, which will bang in. That's going to give us flaps 30, 15045 as we've got variable 3 knots. We'll go in and get our landing weights as well. So we're coming in for 35. Winds was currently, we'll just say the winds are 350 at 3. Just QNH 1016, coming in for 67.1, which will be VREV 5, and your flaps 30. You can use all of our brakes, so we use auto braking under 3. We'll see how far we stop, passing through 250 now, and lower our speed down to 28 or to 27. Aircraft will pitch up. We're going to come down for flight level 140, which is down for LBAC for 1-2, and from Odris we are going to come in for 1-4. As we see, flight level 140 and follow it all the way down. Passing through flight level 240, transition level, just says 10,000 with QNH 1016, which is set. On the first officer's side, pre-armed 1016, which is also checked. Engine start switches are continuous. Get the fasten seatbelts on now. As pass through 22,000 feet.
Ich darf Sie bitten, dass Sie auf Ihre Plätze zurückkehren und sich dort wieder anschnallen.
That's great, man. Glad you're doing well, Steve. Okay, so we've got some nice views just out overhead. Passing through flight level 220. To come down Andres for 140 above 13, all the way around Delta 140 Papa to that right hand turn, which is right here, and MC's on 7,000, so we could initially come down all the way in if we really wanted to. nav in is going to come down from 1,000 feet per minute to account for deviation. Top of descent's right there anyway, so it's not really going to matter too much. So we're going to say for LBAC 1297. So what we'll do is 292, we've got 27. So we're going to come down from 12,000. We can hold over in 270. Parallel 270. We'll get the aircraft down for the 12,000. We'll re-engage the VNAV after we've got down past 12,000, as it will go into a steep descent as we've got it into path. Once we do come down 27, we've got the speed brakes open as we're starting our descent, so we can go into our descent checklist. So for our descent checklist, we've got our ASUS report information, which is checked 1016 on the QNH. Engine anti-ice, which is on and checked 2 degrees now, 10 degrees over, we're going to switch it back off. Recall, which can go on, which is clear. Auto brake, number 3, which is set, coming down for flaps 30, 155, so rev 30 plus 5, currently 60 nautical miles out from the airport, as we are pretty much in a dead straight line now, onto 331. 331's in, we're coming down, as we said, for 14,000, 12,000 is going to be in as we come down to LBAC, but we're going to stay for 14 as we come down for Odris. That's what we can do now. Odris is right there, there's a decel, so we should be able to go back into VNAV, and we're getting away with putting in direct to Odris from here, which will lead us here, 140 above, which should be checked, put the VNAV in as well, also say profile.
1,000 to go.
So the profile's gone for us. Open up speed intervention. And 280 into the aircraft will start to load descent rate to then get the aircraft to speed up. So as we're not too far away, there's our top of descent. Once we come in just a little further, we'll let the aircraft level off for 1,400 feet. There's the next top of descent, which has been reprogrammed for us. 140 above, so the aircraft shouldn't leave under. Once we come around from the arc, we said 3,800 feet. So VNAV should follow profile 3,008, which is also checked. Top of descent's coming in. It shouldn't go anywhere. It should stay exactly where it is. 147. It's 134. So it should stay exactly where it needs to be. 280, we've got speed intervention window open. Passing through on our speeds below 10,000 feet, we've got landing lights which will be on and set. Passenger signs which are on and checked. Temperature now is 10 as we're going to continue the descent down, so the engine anti-ice can go off. VWAR frequency coming into the airport is 117.7, which will get set, which is both in and set. Coming in for the VOR DME approach, 35 onto the 352. And the runway's offset by 1 degree. So 352, which is on the course, and 352. So the descent's in now, there's vertical deviation, so we'll stay now for 14,000 feet, and then that'll start to lower down once we come round, so that we can come back in on profile for our arrival. So under 10,000 now, C292, I'm not going to interrupt the flow of that. Once we come down at under 10,000, 240, over our speed, rumble round, so down to 114 Papa, and then come in. So that's all good for us there, 140. So what I'm going to do now, guys, seeing as we are nearly there, ready to go in, I'm going to open up the poll, as we are currently 43 nautical miles. So in about another 10 nautical miles, I'm going to open up the poll, and you guys can vote for the landing rate that you think we will land closest to. So stay tuned in just a second, and we'll get up live, ready to go. Right, 46 nautical miles, 40 miles out from Addons, which is where we're going to make that left-hand turn then to start on to the start arrival. So not too far away now, just literally 34 nautical miles away from Addons. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to open up the poll, which you guys can vote for where you think the landing rate is going to be closest. So we'll open that up now for you guys. So make sure to vote away. Currently now heading on to the 353, which is also set. Speed brakes are armed, which I checked. It's making our way up to Addons, which you can't see on the arrival. We're going to flick into the 243 and then come round onto that arc. So the pole's open. Make sure to drop your votes in, and we'll see how we get on. We'll see if we land closest to where you thought we'd go. So make sure to get them in, guys. Currently now 27.4 DME now from Addons, ready to come in onto that turn. Got a VNAV in, which is currently following the profile. We're in VNAV speed, we've got a window open as well, which is also checked. Once you do start the descent, see our flight path angle starts to decrease to get down to the vertical bearing. 240 under 10,000 feet. On for the arrival in, and make that left-hand turn onto that right, which will bring us all the way down onto the 352. And got the 350, which is in as it is offset. It's the final approach track offset 1 degree from runway centre line. Passes 528. Beam runway centre line at 4594. So we're going to roll round Tinky 3,800 feet, which is where we're going to hit it off and come down 14 dB from the runway. So there's Idris coming in 280 as we fly around. Wind's coming in 13 knots, headwind. And we'll see exactly where we go tonight. So we'll see if we can get a repeating of last night's antics. See if we can get lower, who knows. 14,000. See the vertical deviation now starting to decrease. It's going to go roll all the way down. Once it goes down past the center point, the aircraft's then going to start to go into the descent and follow the profile down for us for the VOR, ready to hit in onto the DME arc. 16 nautical miles will be the DME arc. This will be 16 nautical miles away from the airport. So that's what it pretty much means when it says 16 DME arc. Basically means 16 DME from the airport. Flying it round, and also at a later stage I'll show you how you put in fixes to create an arc where you use the radials from the VOR to then implant down and then put it down onto the legs page as well. So we'll do that at another point. Still currently now on the 353, 352. Just getting a little bit rocky. 280, currently 13 nautical miles from Addons. I'm going to make that left-hand turn, get the aircraft ready to go. 10,000 feet. We're going to then switch it in. We've got the minimums, which is going to give us down to 680. Can be quite fiddly. So 680 is checked, which is going to give us a 555 and our decision height. We've got 155 coming down, so probably looking around 900 feet, 910 a minute. So it will be a steep one. We'll try and get fully configured by the time we do start that descent at least. We're going to start to configure the aircraft. We're going down 155, around 1,000 feet per minute. We'll make sure that the aircraft's fully configured, ready, locked in to come down. We'll get the aircraft all slowed in, ready to go. So the 243 is that left-hand turn back around, currently 80 of me now. Very good deviation, just nearly there. By the time we get to Aldris, then we're going to start to follow down onto the path, ready for the VOR approach. So minimums is set 10,000, set the altimeters back over, which will set a reserve as well. Flaps 30 is going to come in, auto brake 3, which will be set, and speed brake is armed. As we're going to go into that left-hand turn and come in ready for the arrival. So it is a little bit jolty out there tonight. We'll see what the landing rate says. Okay, so here's that left-hand turn now. I'm going to slow the aircraft right down. That's 260. Putting up speed brakes just partially, going on to the 243, which is set. So we'll slow down to 250 now. Still taking 24. Catch as much speed as possible as we come in. Now the aircraft's going to make that left-hand turn onto the 243 and then we'll follow the arc all the way around. We've got 25 degrees bank. Now we can see with the vertical deviation just coming in, we're now going to start that descent down. Let's go around that left-hand turn. Starting down to 240, open up speed brakes. So 247 on the MCP. Once we come up to 10,000 feet, then we'll basically let the VNAV come in and go back down onto its path. So 9,000 once we come round the bend. Let's speed brake in now, just for a second. Now the reason when in the forecast it asks when the anti-ice is going off or on is at idle speed. I don't know if it will work in here. Let's just say we've got 35.5 idle. If we turn the anti-ice on, we should start to see that now the idle has basically gone up to nearly 37. So that is why it asks in the forecast of when you're going to be turning off the anti-ice, because it will plan the descent and it will obviously have a higher idle thrust coming down, so it'll have to plan it a little different. It's going to go on a steep one, etc. So now we are currently coming in now onto the DME. We've got 11,000 in, under 10,000. We've got 240 in anyway for our speed. Over on our legs coming down 24, 24 right the way around until we come in 7,000 above. So we can open it up. We'll try and keep it into its that path. We'll come on to that right hand turn now. 350, which is setting. Currently passing 10,000 feet now, and get our landing lights which are checked. You see the wind The aircraft's getting knocked about just a little bit. By the time we come on to our next fix, we're going to be looking around 9,000 feet, and we'll drop down to 7 and then down to 4. And we'll get the aircraft fully configured then to come in 14 DME. So we're going to start the descent down, so we at least have flaps 5 in when we do come down. Get the QNHs over now, 1016. Get over on the reserve. Going to the first officers back in too. As we're going to come around onto that right hand bend. Very, very bumpy tonight. So we'll see what the landing rate's saying when we do come down. So following the right DME arc. Whilst the aircraft's getting ready to do that, we can now get the control column over and in place ready for our arrival in. Okay, there's 9,000. No, that was just me. Just set off the throttle by accident. You can put in throttle block as well. So that's another thing that you can do now. 10,000 we should be able to put VNAV in. So now I can follow the VNAV path, so we'll come down onto the VOR approach. So in VNAV speed, it's going to try and catch the speeds of the descent. We need it in VNAV path, so it will follow the descent no matter what the speed is coming down. Because if we knock it out now, it will go into VNAV speed. We want it to go into VNAV path, which it currently is. So coming down now, we can tell it coming down 1220 at 10,000. Should be coming in. And on with this 220, which is so we can get in a more slower approach. I tell the FMC now that we want to go down to 220. So then we've just got a bit of a head start when we do come in onto that right hand turn. Currently take a look. It's really, really rocky today. Coming down into the runway. Passing 7,000 at 8, got 3,000 set, 3,800 feet. Once we get near to our right hand turn, we can then start to lower the MCP altitude down. We'll drop that down to our minimums. So as you can see, it is a little rocky. It should slow down the winds just a little as we're currently descending down through. So yeah, as I was saying with the anti-ice, that's why you have it on the forecast. Because when you turn it on, the idle thrust will be a little bit higher. If you guys missed it, just go back a few minutes and you'll see what I was talking about. So 7,000 feet now as we're going to go to 4. There's our flaps up. We've got the speed brake open. As we're going to start coming down 270, we put 22 in, so we'll hold 22 now. All the way around the bend until we get to 3,800 feet, Tinky, and that is the start of our descent down to the runway. So, take speed brakes in. Put 350 in, it's offset by 1 degree. We're going to roll out our minimums, so we'll drop the MCP down to our minimums, because it's 680. We'll put it down for around 700, it should be alright, as we can't work in temps. So from 7,000 we're going to drop down to 4,000 now, which we've got set 3,008. Tinky's right in there, we can see on the data as well. And also catch comes what we need to be 3,008, there's Tinky, and then 3,200 above. So we can follow it all the way down. There's the aircraft going into the descent. You can see now the vertical deviations coming down, so again we're going to follow the path to 4,000 feet. On for that right hand turn, we'll drop in for flaps 5, so we get the aircraft all ready to go. How's it going, my man? Hope you're well, Zeno. So there's a lovely glare of the sun, just on time as well, as it was an hour and 2, and we were scheduled to come in for around 1650 as well, so that's pretty much just on time. Coming down for 4,000 feet, we've got the aircraft pretty much ready into its flaps up position, as as we're all set, we'll go into our approach checklist. So we've got the altimeter set for 1016, which is set and cross-checked on either side. We've got the VOR frequency, which is in for the 11770, which is also set and checked, and we can confirm that with the VOR DME 35 or 352 for runway 35. We're offset by a degree, and on the charts we've got 350, so I'm going to keep 350 in. When we're 10.5 DME out, we should be at 3,100 feet, and then all the way to 5 DME we can then work off of here if we really need to. So there's 5,008 as we're going to go into that right hand turn. And I'm going to drop into a flaps 5. So I just want to be on the ball as we get ready to drop down. Speed brake is in and armed, and flaps 5 is now coming in. So there's the right hand turn, passing 5,003. Flaps 5 is in and set. As the aircraft's now going to slow down 3,800 feet above. We need to get down in for Tinky, which is right here, so from 3,008. We'll now drop our MCP altitude down, put that down to 700 feet, which will be set. That will allow the VNAV path to still carry on its profile down. There's our flaps 5, which is also set. Coming down for around 1,000 feet per minute as well. So there's the runway in sight. As we can see, there's the runway, which is set. Flaps 5 is just slowly coming in. As we're going to start the descent down, currently 13.5 DME out. That's just going to track back inbound now onto the 350, which is also checked. So there's our flaps 5, passing through 4,005. We're starting our descent, as we said, out, passing through 4,004. 10.5 DME, we should be at 3,001. So there's our flaps 5, which is set. There's the decel point 206 and then 171 coming down. We're at 171 now for our flaps 5. It is a little bit rocky, and that hasn't stopped us so far. So there's the descent coming in. 3008. Follow the descent down. Flaps 5's in. Passing through 3007. So
2,500.
2,500, which is checked. Over flaps 15. Good up. So you can see if we wanted to activate the Aegean, it is actually there if we really wanted to. We're offset by 1 degree, so it's the 352, which is in, so we're coming over an angle, which is checked, passing through 2008. Flaps 15 set, gears down, 3 green, speed brakes armed. Turn-offs can go on, which are set. We've got engine start switches which are continuous with our landing lights, which are also set and configured. Runway is now in sight. 680. Put in for our minimums. As we're all ready now to come in, what we can do, guys, is we'll disconnect the auto throttle and the autopilot, and now I have control of the aircraft. So turn the flight directors off as well. So that will get rid of everything. So I don't want to be following everything on the glide path. Try and follow the puppies instead. So we come down to our flaps 30, which is going to be 155. Come back over to the 352. Flaps 30 set. Okay, we've got 1 red. Just trim down a little more. We're looking around about
1,000.
1,000
feet stabilized, Mr. Perch altitude set.
Okay, just pull back a little, keep it at 155. Okay, just trim up a little. So we'll try getting for the 2 red, 2 white.
+100. 5 minimums.
Continue. Is that 2 red, 2 white?
$300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are on. And reverses are active. Full pressure on the yoke. As we come down at the end, 80 knots, reverses can go in. Charge checked and set. So, -58, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we'll slow down now and disarm the auto brake. So we've done better than yesterday, we had -95, 94. So, I've had a lot of time flying the plane. It's nice to fly though. Hung off a little bit just on the flare. Managed to recover it from dropping out of the sky. So speed brake can now be retracted. There we go, flaps retracted as well. Yeah, thanks my man. Appreciate it, pal. As we're now going to taxi off, so we can go over and get the aircraft all prepared. So we'll get our landing lights all off, which are set. Runway tunnels can go off, taxis, engine stars can go off as well. We don't need the logo. Strokes can go back to steady, and we can get the APU all ready to go. Okay, which is set. Auto brake can be disarmed, which is also set and checked. Thanks my man, thank you very much. And here we go now, ready to taxi to the stand. So on the time as well, we got there just around in time. It was just around about probably 4 minutes late on the scheduled arrival. It was a block of 1 hour and 5. We got there just around about 1 hour and 10, as we can see. So wasn't too bad at all. Thanks to all you guys that did attend today. We'll just take one of the stands in front, and then we'll go down to the landing cinematics, and I'll show you guys how it went. So we'll pull in right here. As we come round onto this left-hand turn, we'll get the terrain off too. So as we come over now, we've got the APU which is on and checked, packs are on, the isolation valve can be opened, the APU bleed can go on as well. As we're set to come in, and we can now get ready to brake and stop the aircraft. If we can get it to stop. For some reason the brake doesn't seem to work half the time, so as you see it just turns off, which is set. But anyway, we get the engines now turned off. I've just switched over the buses. The APU gen, and there we are guys. So I'm going to leave you with the landing cinematics. Thanks to everybody who attended tonight, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another flight. Might use a different aircraft, we'll see, but I'm going to leave you with the landing cinematics now. So have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all again very soon. So take care for now guys, bye bye. So we'll just get a landing cinematics for you guys, and then we can see what we did.